Hey guys, Mr. Shaw here. Today we're going to be talking about literal equations. Now these are just kind of upfront. You guys should know that these are a little bit more complicated than we're used to, and that's okay. Just because you guys already have the skills to be able to solve these. So we're gonna jump right into it. So what a literal equation is something like this, where you're going to see where there are no numbers. Okay, now and it doesn't have to be no numbers, but it means that there's going to be more than one variable. Okay, more than one variable, and what's going to happen is on the problems tonight, it'll tell you to solve for a specific variable. So in this case, it says solve for w. So here's our equation. We've got a equals a equals length times width. Okay, so that's, again, this is the formula for the area of a rectangle or a square. And what we're going to do here is we're just going to take it, we're going to solve for the given variable. Now, when you look at it, again, you've got three things. You've got the a here, and then the L and the W. So again, I want you to kind of underline the variable, just kind of keep in mind that's what you're looking for. Now, the other thing to remember is we need to just focus on this side of the equation, okay, right here on the right side. So now you got to ask yourself, what is happening between the L and the W? Well, you see that it's length times width. So we got to do the opposite. So what's the opposite of multiplying? Well, that's dividing. So all we're going to do is divide both sides by L, just like that. Now again, on this right side, the L's cancel. Alright, so now here, we're just going to be left with, and I'm going to go ahead and switch the sides around. So it's going to be W equals A over L. And that's it. Okay, that's pretty much all there is to it. Now again, you can tell that you're done because the W, what it asks about, is by itself now. So now we know that we're done. This is our answer. Let's move on. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's do the next one. Alright, let's see. This one, we're going to keep with at least for the first one, we're going to keep with the ones that you guys have hopefully seen before. So it's going to be P equals 2L plus 2W. Now this one is a little bit different. Again, this is the formula for the perimeter of a rectangle, or it could work for a square too as well. And in this case, I'm going to say let's solve for L. Okay, so again, here's what we need to get by itself. Okay, so we got to get rid of all the stuff around it. And then these are two sides of the equation. Now before we do this, I want to kind of just direct your attention over here. Now if I had something, let's say I had, I don't know, let's say 16 equals 2L plus 12. And I had to get this L by itself. Well, now you guys know how to do this, okay? So now the first step, again, you need to get this L by itself, so we got to get rid of the stuff around it. So first of all, I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. Okay, now these 12s are gone, and that would be 4 equals 2L. Now the last step here, and again, I'm doing this just to kind of give you guys an idea of how we're going to solve this problem. So from here, the last step, it's 2 times L, so I'm going to divide by 2. Remember that multiplying and dividing is always the last step. So this is L equals 2. Now again, this is just like this is a normal equation right here that we've been solving for the last couple weeks. So now what I want to do is I want to apply what we did here to our literal equation right here. So now again, we're trying to get the L by itself. So the first step, we're going to get rid of this 2W. So we're adding 2W to 2L, so we're going to subtract it. So subtract 2W from both sides. Okay, now what you need to ask yourself is, can I subtract P from 2W? Well, I don't know of any way to do that. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to rewrite it like this. So I'll shoot it down here. So P minus 2W equals 2L. Now, again, because these guys are gone now. So now here we only have one more step, and you see here our last step when we had 2L, well, we divided by 2. So let's do that again. So we're going to divide by 2, and now we're going to divide everything by 2 under here. Again, the 2's cancel out over here, and now this right here is going to be our answer, and I'll write it for you. So it'll be L equals P minus 2W over 2. Again, you can see that our variable is by itself, so we're done. Okay, that's our answer. Now again, you notice that we don't have a nice, neat answer like we did here, and it is a little bit confusing, but that's okay, because as long as we follow the same steps, we'll get to the right place. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let me clear this real fast, and we will go ahead and do the next one. Alright, so the next one we're going to do is going to be Q equals C plus D over 2. And we're going to be solving for D. So if you guys are feeling more comfortable with this, what I want you to do is I want you to go ahead, I want you to just pause the video. I want you to try it, see if you can figure it out. Now, for those of you maybe not so confident yet, maybe try that on the next one. But in this case, we see, I want you guys to point out and see a couple different things. First thing is that we have this 2 here on the bottom. Now this 2, this fraction, is going to stop us from being able to do anything with this D until we get rid of this guy. So let's go ahead and let's get rid of that first. So I'm going to, again, you're dividing by 2, and you guys know that the way to get rid of a fraction is to multiply. So we're going to multiply both sides by 2. Okay, these 2's cancel. And now over here, well, what's 2 times Q? Well, that's going to be 2Q. That doesn't look very good. I'm going to fix that, if you don't mind. There we go. So 2Q, that's better. Okay, and now again, these guys are gone, so now it's just going to be C plus D. Okay, so now again, we're just trying to get this D by itself. Oh, sorry, my cat is very interested in what we're doing right now. That's okay. So now again, I've got C plus D. I would need to get the D by itself. So this C is positive, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to subtract it from both sides. Subtract C, just like that. These C's are gone. Again, I'm going to flip it around so it'll be D. Oh, we're having a heck of a time right now. Here we go. D equals 2Q minus C. And again, you see the D is by itself, so we're good. And that's our answer. Okay, last one. Alright, let's do this. Sorry about that. My computer is not wanting to work with me today. Alright, last one. So it's going to be V equals 3K over T. And it wants us to solve for T. Now these are going to be some of the harder ones that you'll see, and the thing I want to point out to you is that the variable that it's asking us to solve for, okay, is on the bottom. That's not where it needs to be. That's the opposite of where it needs to be. So the first step in this case is that we're going to have to get the T on top so we can actually solve for it. So again, just like the last problem, the T's on bottom, so we need to go ahead and we're going to have to do the opposite to get rid of it. So again, it's like 3K divided by T, so we are going to multiply by T. Now again, over here on the right, the T's cancel out. And now here we've got TV, look at that. That's a happy coincidence. Okay, TV equals 3K. Okay, well, let's finish this up and you guys can go watch some TV. So anyway, we need to solve for T. Now again, here it's T times V. So the last step, okay, we got to divide. So we're going to divide by V. So really this one wasn't that hard. What you'll want to do though is make sure that when you guys are doing your homework tonight, that if it looks like I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. Here's your answer. So T equals 3K divided by V. And what I wanted to say before I let you go is that if you have one that looks similar to this, so like let's say it's V plus 2 equals 3K over T, and again it asks you to solve for T. Okay, what you want to do is you're still going to multiply by the T to get rid of it, but again what I want you to do instead is I want you to multiply and then put parentheses around this guy. Okay, the reason is because it's going to have you do less work, and I'll show you what that looks like. So these T's will cancel, so now you'll have 3K equals T parentheses v plus 2. Okay, and that's it. So now you don't because if otherwise, when I multiply this, I would have had to distribute. Okay, and that's too much work. It's too much work. We don't want to do it right now for little equations. Okay, and then just the last step. Again, you've got the right here. We divided by v, but in this case, we're going to divide by v plus 2, and you would do v divided by v plus 2 on both sides. So these guys cancel, and then this would be your answer. Alright, so I lied to you. I did one extra problem. I'm sorry. Go watch TV. I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.